With 3500 lumens of brightness, a cinematic 3D display, and an exceptional HDR performance thanks to Dolby Vision, HDR10 Plus and HLG, the AWOL 3500 Pro Triple Laser 4K is one of the best projectors on the market. Whether it's day or night, the image is incredible, and it's by far the best projector I've ever showcased on this channel, so we'll open it up and see what it has to offer. Full disclosure before we get started, the video is sponsored by AWOL and they've sent me the projector to use and showcase to you guys. If we start with the unboxing, you can see it's a big box, and that's because it's a big and powerful projector. First, I've got some 3D glasses, and these don't come with the projector, but they can be purchased separately for those of you that want to watch 3D movies. Now next up, we've got the Fire Stick 4K Max, and this does come with the projector, and I really like what they've done with this, so we'll cover that bit shortly. Now next, we've got the power cable, the remote control with batteries, we've got the manual, an AV cable and a dust cloth, and then finally we've got the projector itself, so let's go and set it up. This is an ultra short throw projector, so you place it in front of your screen or wall, you plug it in and you're good to go. The manual gives some useful tips for perfect alignment of the screen, and then we also got 8-point manual keystone corrections to get things perfect. When starting it up, the focus was also perfect, but we can also go in and use the digital focus in the settings, but I've never needed to use that. Now something I really like about this projector is that it doesn't have Android TV built in, or you may think that's a bit strange. Let me explain. So it runs a very basic Android OS that gives you access to your inputs and settings, but the advantage here is that everything is very smooth and snappy, and then they also provide this Amazon Fire Stick with the device, and that plugs into the back with a cover panel, and it's also got a USB port for the power so you can't even see it. So with this setup, we've got a choice to use the Fire TV interface for finding content and streaming media or installing applications, but we've also got the main OS if you want to project from an HDMI source or just play something straight from a USB stick. The advantage here is that we're not wasting processing power on running an Android TV interface, and going through menus is much faster than on Android TV. You can also set the projector to boot straight into the stick, and of course you've got the option to use any stick dongle you want. Now it's not a problem with Android TV, I always just find it's a little bit awkward and sluggish if you're accessing menus or settings while you're watching content, whereas this way I can quickly change any of the projector settings or picture modes, and it's just a nicer experience overall. Now especially when watching something like a 3D movie, it's nice and quick to just open up the menu, set my 3D viewing mode and enjoy watching 3D. And while this standard OS does look a little bit basic, it does offer plenty of features, settings and customization for the projector, as well as the ability to cast to the projector. Now from the minute I started the projector up, I was blown away by just how bright this is at 3500 lumens. It's by far the brightest projector I've ever used, and it's the only one that I've been able to use in the day. Now I'm currently sorting out my garage, which is going to be a cinema room, and normally I have to wait till night because I haven't got a blind for the skylight yet, but as you can see here, even with sunlight coming down from the skylight above the projector screen, I can still see everything and in great detail. Of course, if we cut the light, things just get even better, and hopefully this comes out well in the video footage because it's always hard to film projectors, and especially one with this level of brightness. In terms of specs and features, we get support of up to a 150-inch screen, and the screen I'm using here is the 100-inch ALR screen from AWOL, which I'm also very impressed with. It's a triple laser projector with 3500 lumens of brightness. It uses a Ricoh F2 lens along with support for Dolby Atmos, Dolby Vision, HDR10 and HLG, and it delivers a contrast ratio of 2500 to 1. We get support for 3D movies with active 3D glasses. There's also gaming modes for low latency output, as well as a 24 frames per second mode for cinema purists. We've also got a 36-watt stereo speaker system built in, so you don't have to worry about external speakers, but then we do also have support for eARC along with smart home integration. So when it comes to the video quality, it's incredible. You've got high brightness and great contrast, and it really is incredible to watch. We get plenty of detail in the highlights and the shadows, and as you can see here, we've got great looking true-to-life colors. Now I found that with this projector, it really doesn't matter if I'm watching 1080p, 4K, SDR or HDR content, everything just looks incredible, but HDR is really where the projector shines. The 3500 Pro's triple laser offers incredible brightness as well as incredible color accuracy, with over 1 billion colors, which is 107% of the Rec 2020 color gamut. If we take a look at some 4K HDR footage, you can see here it just looks very impressive. We've got bright, vibrant colors along with a 2500:1 contrast ratio to help with the darker blacks and deliver a great cinematic experience. This is the best projector I've shown on the channel by a very long way. Now you also get full customization and you can fine-tune to your liking thanks to multiple picture profiles such as the Dolby Vision Dark, Bright and Vivid for your HDR content. Then over on the standard content, we've got Standard, Vivid, Sport, Movie, Game or User. You can customize the brightness, contrast, chroma tone and even the sharpness. And then under advanced settings, there's a lot more that we can change. So in here we've got stuff like MEMC, low delay mode, noise reduction, dynamic contrast and enhanced black levels. We can also adjust the gamma, the color temperatures as well as the white balance, and additionally you can apply your own color correction, so essentially whatever your preference is, you can have the image exactly how you want it to look. So we're just going to take a look at some video samples from the projector now. Now, one of the features in that list was of course MEMC, and MEMC basically adds extra frames to the content to deliver a much smoother video, and it's useful for things like sport or fast-paced action movies, and I like that we can also control the level of MEMC, and you've got a choice of off, high, medium or low. Now during my testing I pretty much had MEMC off as I mainly watch movies, but when testing with sport it did deliver a much better experience with the MEMC on. Now unfortunately I can't really showcase the benefits of the MEMC in a video because of the lower shutter speed that I need to film in, but for sports fans and action fans it's great. Now we've also got multiple sound modes including standard, music, movie, sport and user, and there's even a 5-band equalizer that you can adjust, or there's also a simplified option where you just increase the bass or the treble. We can also enable or disable Dolby Atmos and DTS Virtual X in the sound menu, so we'll just take a look at some sound samples now. Again, it's important to note that this is sound from the camera microphone, so it gives you an idea of the differences between the modes, but the camera mic doesn't pick up the sound very well. We've also got plenty of other features like eye care, laser outlet detection, CEC, keytone and screensaver settings, and the safety feature that cuts the projection when it detects something coming close is also great, and I found when messing around and setting things up, it would cut the projection when I got anywhere near it, and this is very important for safety as with such a bright laser system, you really don't want the laser going directly into your eye. Now testing with 3D movies I also had a great experience. While I haven't watched too many 3D movies apart from a few in the cinema, it's nice to have the option at home now, and it really is as simple as starting the movie up, selecting the 3D mode on the projector, and then turning the glasses on. Now even in 3D, I found the colors were impressive with some great brightness, and it was a very enjoyable experience. While my old projector did support 3D, I didn't really use it as the colors did look a little bit washed out. For the gamers out there, I hooked up the Xbox, and I played a few games and enabled the game mode, and this offers 15 milliseconds of input lag for 4K at 60Hz, and then 8 milliseconds for 1080p at 120Hz. The gaming experience again was incredible for all games, but I found especially with racing games like Forza, it was just so enjoyable to play on such a big, bright and vibrant display. For a game night, this is going to be a great experience, so we'll just check out the game samples now. Now the mirroring is nice and simple as well, and you just download the eShare app. connect to your projector, and then you can play video files directly from your phone or even enable screen mirroring. When it comes to the projector's physical connections, we've got a USB-A port and an HDMI connection under the back panel on the rear, and this is of course for your Fire Stick or another dongle. And then over on the left hand side, we've got the power connector, an optical out, USB-A, we've got an Ethernet, an AV in, and then we've got a further 2 HDMI ports, and one of these supports eARC. The remote control is also nice and simple. We've got the volume buttons, directional and select buttons, as well as shortcuts to change source, open files and settings menus, as well as picture modes. Then we've also got a shortcut for the screen share. Now this projector has blown me away with how well it performs, and normally this is where I'd go through the pros and the cons, but to be honest, there aren't really any cons. Most people buying a projector is probably going to be for watching movies, and the 4K HDR movies on this thing is just incredible, and it really does offer a cinema experience at home. Because this projector is also so bright though, even if you wanted to get rid of your TV and use this as a daytime TV, then you're not going to have a problem. SDR content looks great even in the daylight, so there's really nothing that this projector can't do. Now of course I've placed links to the projector down in the description below, and you can also get $50 off using the discount code TT50. They've also got a range of wall screens and floor rising screens, and then there's also the 3000 Pro projector, which is a similar projector at a lower cost, which I've also reviewed, so I'll place a link to the review as well as the projector down in the description. But this is a very premium projector, and it can literally replace your TV completely, and overall I'm very happy with the performance, the features and the functionality. So hopefully I've covered everything in today's video, but of course if there is anything I've missed or you've got any questions at all, then just ask them in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, smash a thumbs up. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down twice, and I'll see you guys in the next one.